and done. Yeah, Sandy and I weren't planning on doing it this weekend, but we decided to paint after we were done all our other stuff. And so I took this top off and screwed it, took it outside, sanded it, painted it, came back, sanded all the interior here and this bench here, all of it, plugged in the holes. You can sort of see, no, I can't see them there. There's some places where you can still see. I couldn't sand that one very well in the bottom corner, but I plugged them up with dowel, 3/8 of an inch dowel, and cut, and then sanded. And then we put tape on the floor, and Sandy did most of the painting. I decided then also to, because we're primering everything first, we primered all this wood first before we painted. And I decided that I needed to primer the tops of the plywood that cover the benches. So the bottoms are not primered, and that's okay. I don't care inside. Inside is not primered at all, but the tops are. Might have to sand that corner because it's starting to get a little tight. I think this paint added some thickness to it. But anyway, so there's that big bench there. Sandy's gonna try to pick up some material tomorrow. There's a little bench there and a little bench there. And our old kitchenette, which is now basically storage. Again, I have to come up with something a little better. I didn't paint the handle because this stuff, the handles, I mean, the drawers do get a little stuck. I made it a little too snug right there. Maybe wax it, I don't know. But they stay in place now. So the shelf didn't get painted, so we obviously primered it, but we didn't paint it, and I guess I just didn't see it before I put the paint cans away. So Sandy's talking about using the same MAC tack that she's going to use on the top here. So this is not just going to stay gray. This is going to be either butcher block or some sort of marbleized peel and stick that'll go on top of there. We'll also use it over there on top of the old top here on the only cabinet that stayed in the trailer. The doors are still off. The doors are not painted yet. We're still debating what we're going to do with them. But we also had to come up with a place for the fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher used to be on the old bench, the old storage area. Right here kind of had an insert for the small fire extinguisher. I was going to do the same thing here, just basically cut this whole piece out here and build a little box inside to mount the fire extinguisher to. Because I mean, it's a standard, quote unquote, standard fire extinguisher, but it's a lot bigger than the old one, and the old one was broken anyway. So we need a new fire extinguisher. So I got that from Lowe's. But now I'm thinking, I'm just going to attach the fire extinguisher on the back of the door that goes here. Because there is this space here, so I could just cut out this half round here to hold the fire extinguisher. And so it'd be on the inside of the door, and of course put a big sticker on the outside of the door saying fire extinguisher inside. So that's an idea. It's still accessible. The door opens this way, so you don't have to, you can just open this door and open this cabinet, and you don't have to get inside to get access to the fire extinguisher. That's a debate right now. It's just that everything is stored in here, and it's like Tetris, it's like sardines. So me wasting space in here for a fire extinguisher, I mean, it's obviously fire extinguisher safety is very, very important. But I think if I can put it on the inside of that door there, that'll be good. So the other thing, while we're still talking about this, so this thing still folds over. And yes, I painted that entire thing. But of course I didn't fill in the holes here. I filled in the holes on this side. But underneath the cabinet here, I did not fill in the holes because I said they're going to be covered anyway, so there's no real point in filling in the holes. There's the charging station, there's the plug for the microwave. Yes, I had to add an extra 1.5 inch piece of wood because of course, you remember I had to bring this out 1.5 inch here because of this grill. C'est la vie. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can't see it from a distance, but when you're up really close, you can see that's where I put the 1.5 inch piece of wood through there. I brought this tabletop out more, 1.5 inch. Other than that, the entire electrical system is still done, thankfully. So we're running at 13.4 volts, and if I come over here and I turn off the, oh, the other thing I had to do, and this is the PD 4100 issue, is that this front cover comes off, obviously, it pops off. And it wasn't sitting on there properly because up here, get my finger without getting electrocuted, up here there was like a 1/4 inch plastic coming down to cover the tops of the breakers. The problem is I think these breakers are proud of the zone that they're supposed to be in, like by 1/8 of an inch, so the plastic was interfering with the breakers, and so I couldn't click the cover into place over here. It was always hitting the breakers. So I actually broke off, because you can see that little piece of steel that holds this breaker in place now, because that was behind the plastic before. So now there's a little piece of plastic that was up here, I broke it off. So yeah, what are you gonna do? and I cut it off nicely so you can't tell that it wasn't part of the mold. But Progressive Dynamics, if you ever see this, that these new breakers did not sit behind that little top piece of plastic that's in here. See the V? I broke it off, doesn't matter. Anyway, so right now we are 120 coming in, 120 at 15 amp, because it's plugged in my 15 amp plug in the garage, coming in here, and then the 2 circuits that are running everything in the, so those lights over there, and this light over here. I don't have the microwave plugged in because I don't want to put it, I want to let the paint dry first. You know, it's dry, you can sit on it and stuff, but I think if you leave something, it'll get stuck on it. So let the paint dry 24 hours. But now if I turn off this 30 amp, boom, the 120 lights go off, but the 2 12-volt lights are running off the battery right now, and we have 12.8 volts, and it's going to go down to 12.7 soon. Yeah, this battery will last about 20 minutes before going below 12 volts. So the battery is not good anymore. So right now it's just being charged all the time by the converter here. I don't know. We're going to be on powered campsites for a while anyway. So having a battery, I didn't notice this thing dripped down. Might sand that, repaint that. We're going to be on powered campsites for a while, so we won't have to be boondocking or living off the grid. But I do want to try that. I got the solar cells in the garage, and I will probably store them in here. The one other deficiency right now is I still have this void here underneath the heater. It used to have a swivel door that came down for storage of some small objects. This is the plug for the fridge. It's still here. The fridge is still here, and it works just fine, but I think the paint now, because the wood did not have this, the paint is causing it to, you can hear it, and I think it's, so I could probably just sand this nice little doodad here, this nice little form factor to make it like a sales feature, whatever. I think that's just rubbing against the paint right there. So the fridge door, you actually have to push close right now, which is bothering me, but you know, what am I gonna do? And I will at some point either put a magnetic cover on here so it just latches into place, hide this void, and we can store what, it's still dusty in there. The inverter is going to go in here. I'm going to mount it right there, so I can, when we're off grid, I can take it off that plug there and plug it into the inverter when we have the batteries that we need. The inverter's not installed right now. I will do that at some point, but I have full access without, you know, drilling holes or anything like that to do that, because this is all open between here and here, through there over the wheel well. Other than that, storage shelf needs to be painted or mac tacked or something. I'm still debating if I'm going to put a secondary smaller shelf in here. Right now it's a triangle storage area, and it's tough to store anything that's not a triangle in there. I'm happy with the way this whole thing. We might trim clad this angle iron and take this wheel off because it's not doing anything right now. Trim clad this piece of angle iron. I don't know yet what we're going to do with that. Right now we did not paint that the same color gray as this. We did paint the ends though. So this is the flat bar that we welded onto the angle iron right there. So we painted that because it's stuck all the way out here, and I still have to make the cover for that. So some small things, some small construction that we still have to do. But in the end, Sandy's Sandy's idea about putting the peel and stick inside these panels, utterly fantastic. We put it there too, and on the side, and she had to order another roll, so we got that one done, and 2 of 3 of these, and then we ran out, so we did not have enough left over to do that one. So she ordered another roll. It's coming from Amazon, whatever. So we'll finish that, and you know, use it probably for the doors. I think it'll look nice on the doors because it'll match that over there, except it'll be in the doors instead of in a panel. Yeah, we organize our little totes there. One's just full of sponges, one's for other stuff. So there's still more work to be done, but the majority, the heavy lifting, the big stuff, all done. And Sandy and I both said when it was finished that we are amazed how well it looks. Got rid of the old plywood or laminate of wood grain. Of course, we put that on there, but I think that looks better and it matches the floor. And it matches the curtains. And Sandy's gonna go out and buy some dark gray material so I can sew up new cushions for this trailer. And they'll be dark gray and probably some sort of denim corduroy, something that will last and have, you know, because we're gonna be spilling on it and moving it around and get caught on plywood and whatever. So I'll be sewing up 4 base cushions, reusing the foam of those guys, and we have some more foam coming for this side. And this side, we're just gonna have the cushions on the bottom, and we're probably just gonna have throw pillows on the side. You know, color me undecided. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with that yet, but definitely, obviously, we're gonna have cushions on the bottom, and probably a little lean-to cushion on the back here, so you can sit here, you know, in the trailer, put your feet up, and just sit here and read. We put that thing over there. It used to be right above, so I had to fill in those holes. That used to be over there, but now it's over there, and that's the. Oh, I think I have one out. It's one of those things that is absolutely brilliant. I'm not sure it's Jisk or whatever, but this is where we put our clothes. So that just hangs on top of that. The handle that folds down, and then Josh's clothes will go in there. And it'll just be beside the microwave. The microwave is going to be here, and we're going to have, because this is the charging station, the 12 volts charging station. So we're going to have probably a nice little box or whatever container to put our phones and iPads and stuff into for charging. We're still on the 12 volt system. Let's see what we're down to. 12.4. Yeah, this battery is not holding a charge. I can't fault it. I think I was not the smartest, and I think I said that in the elevator, so I won't have to say it again. The next battery we get, I will know how to maintain properly and store over the winter downstairs with a trickle charge or a charge that will keep it topped up. And batteries should last 7 to 8 years in a situation like this, a deep cycle good battery. Ours lasted 4. I think it was a variety of things. I think it was the bad wiring to the old thing, and it's also me not storing it properly. But there you go. We are done the big stuff. So all that's left now is the little stuff. We are camping sometime in July, and looking forward to that. So I want everybody out there to have a good camping experience. We're gonna have a good time with our camping experience because we have this wonderful trailer now. So I'll talk to you guys all soon. Take care.